I mean, it's a restaurant. You better find some place indoors to sleep, yeah, and the streets are dangerous lately. I don't know, I just don't feel safe here anymore. Where can you feel safe? I heard he's not just dead, but he's been all cut up. Oh, interesting. The elders don't want anyone to go inside without their permission. It must be pretty bad in there. Oh, this is like a crime scene? Oh, that's the same sign. No, that's the same sign as that. They're just recycling signs. It's a little disappointing that they're recycling the signs. Alright, there's our quest objective. Can I run around? Is that this is like a... What is this? I can't get in there? Hey dudes! Nice computers! Can we play a LAN game? Ah, good old days. Going to a LAN place, playing Counter-Strike. Are those arcade machines? What are these? What are those? Those are arcade machines. You have an arcade in here. Alright, that's a shop of some sort. Let me talk to Elder. In G it's yeah, it's... I mean, like, you'd think it's ing or something. It's that's a Chinese name. This orc woman is festooned with small circuits, tiny trit screens, and speakers. The trit screens display snippets of trit broadcasts from every corner of the world. The tiny speakers play counterpoint, with a susurrus of voices speaking Spiritho, Punjabi, Kazakh, and other languages. Her expression is haggard, and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome to the Whampoa, my friend. I am Elder and these are Elders Tang and Ip. This is Yip. It's not Ip, it's Yip. Elders Tong and Yip. And gestures to the elf and human, who each incline their heads respectfully. Thank you so much for answering our request for help. We had nowhere else to turn. It's the least I can do. Sure, whatever. As long as you can pay, I can help. I mean, that's none of these are actually correct. It's not the least I can do. I mean, I don't want to be dismissive. I mean, I would say, if it were me, I'd say I've been assigned to investigate and solve this problem for you. How can I help? That's what I would say. It's the least I can do. Under Tong's skin, glowing tattoos writhe and change shape. Tigers become cranes and move on to dragons. We are under threat, one by one. We elders are being hunted by some monster. As you may have noticed when you arrived, there's been another killing just tonight. Elder Yip. Yip crosses his solid chrome arms. Holographic readouts dance constantly over their surface, displaying diagnostic information about their state, operating temperature, servo pressure, and a variety of other minutiae. He looks past you towards Isabel. The prodigal daughter returned once more. I didn't expect to see you back aboard the Whampoa in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, Elder Yitande was very put out. I'm glad you're still alive. When you chose to walk your own path, I was disappointed, but I still understood why you had to leave. Yip pauses, tasting the air as he chooses his next words with care. I hope my lessons have helped you prosper. Didn't expect to be back either. Work takes you places though. Isabel shrugs. A moment later, she places a hand on her pistol. eyes trained on the Yip's shoes. I don't cart this around for fun, Yip. The lessons kept me alive. Alright. Isabel blinks several times and then looks up at... Her expression clouded. Where is Yatande anyway? I expected her to be here. Oh, she's dead. She's dead, Isabel. Shakes her head sadly. She reaches out a hand towards Isabel, who shrinks away from it. She's dead. So are Gan and Nakamura. And Tong was just killed tonight. So much blood. You have to stop this from continuing. Isabel's expression remains impassive, but her knuckles grow white as her hands ball up into fists. That's what we're here for. We'll stop the killings. Thank you, Isabel. Lifts a hand, wiping away tears from her eyes. Alright, what can you tell me about the murders? They started 2 weeks ago. The first to go was Gan. We found him in his apartment, eviscerated. Swallows, grimacing at the painful memory. He'd been torn apart, his head had been ripped completely off, and most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood it took us a week to clean out his apartment. Torn apart. Tong nods, running his palm over his forehead. The rest have been the same, always at night, always dismembered. Each scene is like a nightmare, and every time nobody has seen anything, it's like a ghost. Oh, Tang. This is Tang? This is Tong. This is Tang. Alright, what happened to Tong? The same thing that happened to the rest of the victims, evisceration and dismemberment. We sent the guard to keep people out of his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight. He locked up his shop, but Yip stopped by to ask him about some skill chips he had. The door was unlocked, and inside... lifts her hands helplessly. She opens her mouth, but no words come out. Seeing N's inability to continue, Yip takes over. Inside looked like a bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. It had to have happened after sundown because I saw his shop was open when I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. Why didn't you call the police? Aren't these guys illegal squatters? Why didn't you call the police? The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times before, or come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favors for local gangs and triads, handle their matrix security, fix up their gear, and make sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadowlands hub. Alright, so these guys are not exactly law-abiding. We're too valuable a resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the Hong Kong police force or anyone else decides we're an easy target. They handle our physical security, and we make sure to send the message via the Matrix. The last time the Hong Kong police force made trouble, we started airing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over the Trid. They got the picture and backed off. Alright, so we're not friends with the police. Have you made any enemies lately? Shrugs helplessly, not that I can think of. We keep to ourselves, we buy and sell technology, we're not mercenaries or criminals, we're merchants and deckers. And even if someone was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Whatever did this, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery, it's a monster, whatever it is. Right. Plenty of metahumans are monsters too. Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. Right. What did the Whampoan elders do? Isabel snorts derisively. They make the rules and kick people out who don't obey them. They're a bunch of petty tyrants, that's what. Isabel! Every society has rules, right? If you don't have rules, you don't have a society. Yeah, anyway, Isabel has issues. You're being unfair, Isabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. Tang turns to address you. We keep the Whampoa and its residents safe. We review trade agreements with outsiders to see if they're good for the community. We provide a guiding vision like a town council. I can respect that. Rules are made to be broken. You people are really weird. They're not that weird. You know, every society has rules, and you know, if you ever yourself get into a position of respect, leadership, you're gonna make rules, right? So, like, there's really no way around it. Because, like, why? Because in order for people to coexist in close proximity to each other, you need to have some agreement on what you can and cannot do, right? You can't just have people doing whatever, because otherwise people are gonna hurt each other. So at the very least, you have to agree not to kill each other, right? In order for this society to be able to exist. So at the very least, the rule is no killing. Unless it's agreed by the majority. You know, things like that. So like every society has rules, and there's no way around it. Anyway, I can respect that. I'm glad you understand. This community is fragile, and the authorities bear us a lot of ill will. A single misstep could spell our end. I am the invoker of sprites. I commune with the spirits of machines, ask them for blessings, and pass those blessings on to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habitats is as good as it can be, given our confines. Alright, she's the geomancer. She's a shaman, that's all. She's just got some kooky spin on it. Claims her totem is some kind of all-encompassing machine god that lives in circuitry. Isabel pats her deck, looking at, ancient gods and ancestors are one thing. My deck, it's mine. I built it. The only spirits it's got in it are the ESPs I loaded up with. I mean, I don't see why you can't use magic on technology, Isabel. I mean, I understand you don't agree with it. But if you can, like, put magic on a sword to make it a fire sword, for example, you can put magic into a computer and make it do other things. Why not? Gives Isabel a look of deep sadness. Just because you cannot see or touch a thing does not mean that it does not exist. Just because you do not believe in it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. Isabel, I can't touch programs either, but at least I can prove they have an effect on the physical world. Your superstitions are just that, bullshit. Isabel glances at you, jerking a thumb towards Tang. This guy treats drones like they're living things. Okay, alright, so the elders are a little bit superstitious, but we are in the world, we are in the 6th world, right? In this setting, superstitions are real, right? They're magical. So I think Isabel's being a bit unreasonable, like in this world, in this fictional setting, there's literal magic. What exactly do you do, Tang? Tang extends his arms, palms up, as you watch the tattoos therein shift into a complex mathematical formula. I am the first and glorious servo. I study patterns, repair machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to wonders of automation. The blessed Autofab is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. Really? What a fascinating and spiritual spin on things. Rector inclines his head towards Tang. Yes, this is why I brought Rector and Isabel, right? I'd be interested in hearing more about your philosophy once we're done with the job. I think I may find your perspective to be very interesting. As for me, I serve as the resplendent voltage spike. Yip smiles crookedly. That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. I mean, he's a lot more straightforward. Alright, that's all for now. Wait, Yip is the head of security. Has he not... Okay, he can't stop the killer. It might be wise to ask the residents of Whampoa Garden if they've seen or heard anything. After you've gone to Tong's sensory carnival, they may have seen or heard things we have not. Alright, good to know. I did press save. Did I save? Alright, I saved. I don't know, aside from talking, can Can we get some gear for like Rector and Isobel? So we can't talk to anyone, and there's nothing for us to click on. Alright, back upstairs. We're going there first. We can't talk to anyone before we... Is this grass? Is this grass? Is this grass? There's no grass in Hong Kong. Is this... I mean, either it's AstroTurf, or this is not Hong Kong. Is this... Hong Kong is a very crowded and very densely populated city. There's no grass in Hong Kong, except in parks. And in every park there's like a little wire around the grass and there's a sign saying do not step on the grass. There's grass you're not allowed to touch. Alright, you want to touch grass in Hong Kong, there's no touching grass in Hong Kong, unless you're really rich and you can afford your own grass. There's no grass in Hong Kong. Wait, who's that guy? Look at that guy. Somebody tells you to touch grass, you say that I live in Hong Kong, there's no grass in Hong Kong. Alright, Tong's Sensory Carnival. Order lamb. Order lamb at your service. The elders told me you'd be coming. They tell you about what happened to Tong? Just the basics. Well, nothing's basic about this. I've seen people shot, stabbed, beaten to death. Hell, I've even seen a corpse that was so dry and desiccated I could have sworn a vampire got to it. None of that's got anything on this. Brace yourself and go on in. Brace. Brace. Brace, brace, brace. It's not that bad. Tong's Sensory Carnival looks like a scene out of a B-grade slasher sim. The cloying scent of incense hangs thick and pungent in the air, emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remnants of Elder Tong littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good order, at least at first glance. Nothing is broken, tipped over, or otherwise ransacked. So nothing was stolen. The killer was only here to kill the person. Right, not here for money, not here for merchandise. As you're about to step further into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. The blood from Tong's body isn't just confined to where his remains lie. Drying blood is spread about the walls and ceiling as well. Right.